Okay, I'm back. I am sitting on my brother's floor. I basically, I'm up in Tennessee, and I came to see him, before he moves. This apartment was like a safe haven for me whenever I was going through drama, with my ex. Anytime I needed to, vent, um, crash, just get away. This place would be it for me. So he's moving this at the end of the month, so it's like, I don't know. It's kind of like, I don't know. It's like it's a weird feeling. It's just like I'm sitting here and I'm thinking about all the times that I slept on this couch. It used to be like facing the other way, and I would fall asleep, take naps when I was pregnant. I would take naps, after work because it was a drive to get back to the town I lived in for my job. So I was like my first trimester with my oldest. I would just crash for a little while. He gave me a key to, you know, his apartment. And he's a good brother. He used to live with me for a couple years, even when after I was married and stuff. And I don't know, like, me and my brother are really close. He's like my best friend. He's always been like my best friend since we were kids, He used to be my shadow. He used to follow me everywhere. He's a cop now. It's so weird. But he's always been there for me. Like, he's always been the one, like, I'd go to. I could tell him anything, and, like, he would never judge me. You know what I mean? Um, sometimes he'd be like, Anissa. He would just shake his head, but that was, like, the extent of it. I don't know. It's just like he was more like a big brother, little brother in a way. And when I got divorced and everything, it was like he. I think he was like relieved in a way. Like, I think he was just happy that I was happy. He didn't like a lot. He saw the behind the scenes things that a lot of people didn't see when because he lived with us. He would hear the arguments that would go on behind closed doors, some altercations that he had to intervene in. That was another story. It got physical. A lot of people don't know that, but I got angry because I was in a situation where if I never did well with someone that would curse at me, because, like, I felt like if you're my husband, you don't talk to your wife that way. Not the person that you love. Not the person you say you love. And I grew up in a home where my dad didn't even curse. He was a preacher, and he never spoke crazy to my mom. And when you grow up in that kind of house, it's like when someone treats you in like the opposite manner, how you don't know how to handle. I couldn't conceive it, and like a lot of times I would say, my dad doesn't even talk to my mom. Like, how dare you treat me this way, And so we would get, I've hit him a couple of times. I hate to admit that because there's no excuse to putting your hands on somebody, but there are times I did push him, and I've hit him before, like pushed and hit him in the chest and stuff like that. But because I was like triggered, you know what I mean? And so, like, when I'm here, it kind of just reminds me of those times, when it got real bad. Especially like when I did leave and I needed a place to stay for a couple of days before I decided what I was going to do. And I had the girls here, and he's a cop, so I'm picking up guns off his floor, and I'm telling the girls, hey, stay in the living room while I pick up this huge rifle and these 45s and Glocks and all that, and putting them up high in the closet. But I don't know, like, It's weird. Like I look around and I remember like all the thoughts that I used to think about in this place. You know, it's weird. It's weird being here. So, but I'm glad he's moving on to a good, better situation or whatever. So I came to Chattanooga and I had to get my favorite things. Oh my gosh. If you have not had these, I know they have them in several places. The first time I had one of these is nothing but cakes, like a bundt. They're little bundt cakes. They have bigger ones, but they're mini ones. And I got like a red velvet one. I have to share you all these. Vanilla. I ate the chocolate one. This is supposed to last me there a week. And then this is the strawberries and cream one. They're all delicious. They're so moist. Like you just keep them in the refrigerator, and I don't have any words to tell you. Like they're just delicious. So one of my birthdays, that's like all I wanted. So, and they have like mini ones too. And you can get them in like a dozen or something like that, I think. So yeah, they're the best. So I have to take them back with me when I go back home. So, yeah, it's, just coming up here brings back memories, like driving, around town and everything just reminds me of like how I don't know, it's like you're coming like down the same roads where I drove from work, and I'm not driving back to that house that we used to live in, and or back to the apartment that I was staying in. It's just weird. Like it's it's just funny how the times in 2 years, in a year, sorry, how things changed so dramatically. I got a house in Georgia, like I had a 2-bedroom apartment a year ago, like not far from my brother's, that was roach infested, potheads, college students, loud couples fighting, like just, it was just, I don't know, it's a blessing just to see like how far I've come, new job and everything. So, but yeah, it's crazy. I think about how I got to hang out with my friend, the cool guy, the cool one that I met online. Yeah, I mean, we're taking it slow. Like, I really like him. I know I look really dreamy right now. Like, I promise I'm not in love yet. Probably eventually, but like right now, it's just like, it's good. Like, I really enjoy his company. And I think that one of the things that I remember, who was it that told me to do this? I think it was my sister, my older sister. We had a really good conversation. I think I talked about that before, about the conversation that my older sister and I had. But if you were raised in a church like I was, they always used to tell you, write down the qualities that you want in a spouse, who you want to marry. Write all of those things down. It's basically like you writing about your perfect man, right? Who would you like to marry? So you're writing down, and this is what I did. I was in my 20s, 21. I want him to be tall, dark, and handsome, athletic, can sing, can educated, just all these different things, has a job, blah, blah, blah. Just a list. I think I had like 50 on one. So I would have this list somewhere in my house, and the different guys that I would date, I would compare them to the person I put on this list. And if they didn't match all of the criteria, then they're scratched, right? So when I met my ex-husband, he pretty much filled all of those things on the list. I don't even think there was anything that he really didn't fill. And I was like, because at the time, the things that I liked and everything, like he, and what I was looking for at that time, at that age, I was 25, 24. So your thoughts of what you like change, and everything changes too, mind you. So I have this list, and these are all the things that I have put together for what I think would be the perfect guy. So this is what my ex fulfilled as far as this list. So I just felt like he's the one. This is the guy. I met the one. You know what I'm saying? He was everything that I had on this list. And I feel like that kind of sets people up for failure, because there is no perfect man. There is no perfect anything. I think there's a good person that's for you. Um, but I think there's other things that you should look for, like moving forward for me. At this point, no, it was somebody I was watching on YouTube. It's what they said. Look at what type of relationship, instead of looking at the type of guy or person that you want, look at the type of relationship that you like to have. That's what you need to manifest, and that's what you need to put down. What type of relationship do you want? And I kid you not, like 2 months ago, maybe maybe 2 months ago, I wrote, I want to laugh a lot. I want to have fun. I don't want to have to choose everything that we do. I don't want to have to take control, be the one to contact them all the time, text them, call them. Like, I put all those things down. I want to feel like a lady. I want to feel like they really like me and care for me, and I feel safe. Right? So, and this is what I want in a relationship. That's it. I want to laugh. I want to have fun. I want to do things. I want the person to plan things for us to do and say, hey, would you like to go here? Do you want to go on a date? Hey, would you mind doing this? Calls me when they say they're going to call. And even if they don't, like, they'll text me and say, hey, I got busy, or hey, I fell asleep, whatever. Just communicate with me. That's really what I desire. It's the communication part, right? And so the funny thing about this guy is that I didn't put looks involved. I didn't do any of that. But like, as far as the type of relationship that I'm looking for, he fits that bill. Like, it's so crazy. Like, he cracks me up. He calls me all the time. And if he doesn't, like, he'll pod, like, he might say, like, my kids and this. Not a big deal, because he's been consistent enough that I don't really think about it. I don't feel like he's playing games. Like, he's proven himself enough to me that I know he's not playing games, right? The other thing, he plans things. Hey, would you like to go hiking or whatever? We can go here, we can go there, whatever. And we're not going, we're usually outside. So we're trying to go places where there's not a whole bunch of people. And so it's just everything that I really wanted. Like, we talk, like, you know what I mean? He wants to get to know me. He's not talking about sexual things and just inappropriate things that, that would just be disrespectful. You know what I mean? So I love that about where I'm at right now. I really do. Because it makes me feel like, even if he's not the person that I'm going to end up with, I know that this is a type of relationship that I want. You know what I mean? This is the type of thing that I'm looking for as far as a companion, partner, whatever. Because I feel like I feel safe. I feel good. You know what I mean? I don't feel any red flags. You know what I'm saying? Like, the only thing that kind of might concern me is just that the fact that he's, going through a divorce, and I know how it can be emotionally, and, and so I'm sensitive to that. But other than that, it's been really good. It's really good. And it's like I said before, I'm going to take it one day at a time. I'm not going to try to define things. It's been good. We spent the holiday together, Memorial Day, and we went hiking, by the water. We talked about like what we want to do, what our dreams are, and things like that. So it's been good. Like, I really, like, it scares me, because I'm just like, this is how normal people act. Like, this is a normal relationship. I'm not used to that. Like, I'm used to chasing guys, you know? He was like, you've dated a lot. And I was like, I have, but it's like, it's not even like I've dated. You know what I mean? It's like I've just hung out with people, you know? It's like, and it's just crazy, you know, to be in a mature situation, right? And I like it, you know? It makes me happy. And so, and it's like I said, forever long as goes and happens, you know, I'm just here for the ride. Like, it's really, I feel like whatever I'm supposed to learn from this situation, I feel like the thing that I'm supposed to learn from this situation is that a person that really likes you, they're going to show you, and you're not going to be questioning. You're not going to feel insecure. You're not going to feel like that girl that you're always wondering what's going on, what's happening. Like, I don't feel any of that at all. At all. And I like that. It really makes me feel like complete, you know what I mean, in a way. And so the funny thing is, and this is probably something I would have to thank my ex for, it's like being with my ex actually prepared me for the next person that I'm supposed to be with. If it's him, this guy I'm talking to now, or somebody in the future. Because it's like, there's certain things that my ex did teach me. And the things that I've learned to do that are appealing to the new person. Like the fact that I can cook. I didn't know how to cook before I met my ex. Not like that. He taught me how. So it's like, and to grill too. So like now it's hot. You know what I'm saying? Like guys like that. Grilling for a woman, guys like that. You know, sports, like I wasn't into football, college football, I love it now, but I wasn't into it before I met my ex. So it's like that also, it like makes me cool too, because we have like, I have more things to talk about to a guy, you know what I mean? You know, like the type of movies that my ex was into, I wasn't into, like 007, you know, Star Wars, you know, just like different things that I was always into romantic comedies, but like after him, like these are things that I actually have in like my little, my little like bag of goodies, like to make me look more appealing, you know, or be, you know, more interesting. You know what I'm saying? Like I have more things to talk about. And so those are like, I don't know, like it's funny how like the things when you break up with somebody, it's like, but it's like sometimes they help you be better. You know what I mean? And if I didn't learn anything or take anything from that relationship, I would be a loser. You know what I'm saying? You got to take the positives from it. And so that's what I'm doing, you know, just the places that we've been and, you know, and just knowing like what I do want in the next relationship. We have a lot to talk about. And it's like he sees the things that I've always wanted someone to see as being positive to me. He sees me as being like driven, which I am, which was like a negative in a way to the last guy. But he sees it as a positive because his ex-wife wasn't driven and didn't like that he was driven. You know what I mean? And so, or I think it was like she was driven, but she didn't want him to be driven too. It was like it'd be just her. And that was kind of that situation I felt at times. So it's like we have a lot to talk about. We have a lot in common. He understands my kids are a priority. My kids' kids are a priority. So we kind of have that mutual, you know, appreciation and understanding. So it's just like, it's really mature. Like it's really mature and grown up. Like I have no complaints right now. Like I really don't. And it's been really good. I don't think of the future. I don't think too far in advance. I don't think negatively. I stay positive. You know, I don't try to think, well, what if I don't do that? I don't do that. Because what's the point of doing that? You know, like I don't do the what ifs anymore. I just say, this is what it is. And a little side note, he invited me to go to the beach with him. I didn't know he would do that. Like, okay, low key, he was talking about going to the beach, and I was like, man, I want to go to the beach. I hope he'd invite me to go. But, you know, I'm like, you know, that's gay. Like, it's lame, like, to think, you know, I just met you, really, you know, we haven't talked that long for you to, like, ask me to go to the beach. So I'm like, that's kind of whack. And don't be that girl. But he did, and I was like, I held the phone for like a couple seconds before I responded because I didn't know what to think, you know. So yeah, we're just going for like the day. It's nice. It's like in Mobile, Alabama, and so yeah, it's just gonna be fun, like to just do stuff like that. So I don't know what to say. So yeah, so that's where I'm at right now. So I'm pretty happy. It's just, it's neat. It's neat. But yeah, everything's going well, and I just try to be positive and look towards the future. So yeah, I'm just gonna stop it there because I don't have anything else to say. And yeah, hopefully, um, hopefully I just continue to heal and get better because I think talking to him really has healed me. It's healing me too. Like I had to heal by myself, but like it's like there's other things that I'm still unfolding and unraveling about myself too while I'm talking to him. It was one thing I do want to mention that he did mention, like he brought up and asked me, well, what's your love language? And I was like, excuse me, what? Because I read that book and I tried to get my ex to read it, and he laughed at me. Like, he's like, that's just the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Blah, blah. And I was like, okay, buddy. Like, it just gives you all the secrets to finding out how this relationship can be better. But whatever. And, I don't know. But I realized that, for me, I thought my love language was quality time and gifts. So, but as I have gotten through a lot of this, one of the things he mentioned, my friend, he was like, what's your love language? And I said, I think it's quality time and gifts. He was like, and I said, what is yours? Like, I said, for him, I think it's physical touch. He likes hugs, he like to be poked at, that kind of thing. And I said, maybe acts of kindness too. And he goes, yeah. He said, yeah, definitely physical touch. He knew that. And he was like, yeah, acts of kindness. And I said, but I think mine's probably acts of kindness more than gifts. It's really like when someone's really thoughtful and they think about something you said, and they might like, even if it's not a gift, they might say, well, I thought about you. You said you wanted to go here. You want to go here? Like that kind of thing. But he said, no, I think your communication. That's what he told me. And I was like, you think? And he's like, yeah. He's like, you really get a lot of talking. And I was like, you're right. And it was like low-key turn on because I was like, he knows like the stuff. And I was like, oh my gosh, that is so true. So now like my brain is going into like circles because I'm thinking back how many times like me and my ex were in conversations and arguments, and I just wanted to talk it out and he wouldn't do that. And that's why I would get so angry and want to just, you know what I mean? And instead of like talking to me, he would curse me, or he would like cut it off or give me the silent treatment. And that's when I would just explode. So like that's my love language, and it wasn't being fed, and so I was like, that's why I feel like me and this guy are meshing because he communicates with me, and it makes me feel complete, like whole, like not empty, you know what I mean? So yeah, I thought it was really cool. That was really neat about something that we talked about. Yeah. So yeah, like there's just so many things like I can say about it. But yeah, it's been good. Yeah. And then you see my mood ring is blue. So that means I'm happy at this point. We'll see what happens tomorrow. No, I won't even say that because that would be, don't want to jinx myself. But yeah, yeah, we're doing well. And so on that note, till next time.